Dr. Jackson, and 57% of Americans actually don't think Joe's running the White House, but that's a side note. But we now have well over 1 million illegal immigrants. We're not testing anybody. We have Joe built the cages that were overcrowded in the middle of a pandemic. No testing whatsoever. No vaccinations, no mandates for the people in Joe's cages. They get a bus or a plane ticket to the city of their choice, and they're now being spread out all across the U.S. And I would assume that many Americans actually now got COVID positive test results because of Joe's open border policies with that large a number of people and a high percentage of COVID positive rates. Is that a good assumption on my part?
Absolutely, Sean. I mean, the report was that there were 7,000 COVID positive people that were released into the city of McAllen just over the last few months, and like 1,500 just over the last week or so. I've been on planes. I've been out to the border multiple times. Every time I get on a plane from the border, it's packed with these people that are flying all over the country. And now we know a lot of them are COVID positive. I told you before, when I was out there, they were documenting to me that 25% of everybody that crossed the border was COVID positive, 20% when they engaged them, and 5% during their time with either the Border Patrol or HHS. So there is a huge problem on the border, a huge number of these people coming across. They're almost all unvaccinated. So a large proportion of them do have the virus, and they're infected with it, and they're being shipped out all over this country. And the Biden administration treats it like it's a completely separate reality, what's going on down on the border and the risks down there versus the rest of us. It's crazy.
Isn't it over 150 countries? If we're worried about variants from different countries, shouldn't we have, if you're coming to America, if we're going to mandate Americans get a vaccine and mandate they wear a mask and mandate parents wear masks in their own homes with their kids, maybe we should be mandating that you get tested, and maybe we should first enforce the laws of the land when you have over 1 million illegal immigrants, then dispersed to all the states around the country. Now, I would argue, tell me if I'm wrong, doctor, if this sounds logical to you, if anyone gets COVID as a result of Joe not enforcing the laws, allowing illegal immigrants with COVID in the country, and people get sick and die, does he play a role in that death?
Oh, absolutely. He's totally responsible for that. And, right now, if we're in this public health crisis that we're obviously in right now, it's his responsibility and his duty right now to shut that border down right now. That border is a huge problem right now. And if this does take off, I'm telling you that we are going to be able to trace it right back to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and their border policy. That's what's driving this right now, and it needs to be shut down. It's going to be a huge problem for this country, and he's absolutely responsible.
Laura, I know that you have a lot more sense than I do. Don Jr. was on last night. I told him the same thing. You got out of New York brilliantly, and I'm the idiot that's still here. And I mean that. I'm totally dumb to stay here. But you're down there. Now, could you imagine if the same rules were applied down in Florida? I don't think the people of Florida would take it.
Oh, absolutely not. There's a reason that there are so many people flocking to Florida. It is because it is a free state. And gosh, what a success story when you look at COVID and the way it was handled in the state of Florida. You just pointed out kids have been in school in Florida in person. Small businesses have not been forced to shut down and are never going to reopen. Look at the housing market in Florida right now. It is skyrocketing through the roof. And you contrast that with these Democrat-run states like the state of New York. It is absolutely abysmal and terrible what has happened in these states. So sad, should have never happened. Everyone should be taking a page out of the Ron DeSantis playbook and start running their states a little bit more like Florida.
Yeah, I doubt you're wearing a mask around your precious kids. I know you have two beautiful kids. I tend to think in your own home, you're probably not wearing that mask that NIH director is recommending. Can't see. Mom and Dad, where's your mask? Inside your house. Yeah, quick.
I'm going to tell you, too, I just want to say real quick, I want you to have me back on. They better not start making our kids mandatory for our kids to have this vaccine. That's going to be over the top, and that's coming. You mark my words, but that is going to be horrible when that happens.
There's got to be a tipping point. The American people, they've been lied to. They've been told A, B, C, and D, and they're wrong every time. I'm sick of it, and so are many Americans. Laura, thank you. Ronny Jackson, thank you.